So here's a podcast related to the idea of flow, a flow state of mind, you could say, and something that you might recognize as, at least like as a child, you were lost in your activities, not thinking about anything, just being the total experience yourself. Now this is of course something that didn't get lost. It's still a possibility to enter into a state of flow, not necessarily in doings, but as a state of being, you could say, as a way of life, if you want to humanize it, like as a state of life, as a way of life. Now this idea of flow state, you see it back in the psychology, and I'm going to take some aspects out of it to take another look at that, because the whole idea of flow state, I want to connect that to being in total communication with your inner spirit, with your Holy Spirit. Because what happens when you do that? Then suddenly you don't have to think about what you do, but it's given to you what to do. And it keeps gentle pace with you. There's no stress related to it. There's no pressure. No, you literally come into the acceptance that what is occurring is exactly the right thing that occurs. And now you get the feedback of that immediately too, and continuously, basically. That's a part of this flow state that I'm speaking of. It is not a passive state, so don't get me wrong. The flow state is a very active state. It's like a state of high alert without expecting anything that threatens, but more like, no, you need to stay on the edge of your seat in order to experience or to receive the direct instruction, the direct impulses would be a better word, like the immediate impulses to follow up on, and basically let yourself be moved by those. Now, so it is like, how do you get into that? How do you do that? Now, since we are looking at the idea of the healing related to, for instance, painting, like Van Gogh. Today we use Van Gogh, like the idea of painting, using painting as an healing tool to go beyond words, but come into pure expression and basically receive inspiration to do what you do, or to express what you feel, to allow that to be burst out on the canvas, or however you're expressing it. Whether that's in poetry, whether that's in music, or whether that's in any kind of self-expression, or even not even in form expressed, but just as an inner feeling, as a connectedness to source, and say coming into the absolute presence of it, or the quiet of it, the stillness that is within you. Now these are all beneficial things, of course, but it's not just beneficial. Basically, it brings you to your authenticity. Because not to confuse that with the human idea of, I'm so authentic to myself, I do exactly what I want. No, this is more like the authenticity is recognizing that the flow that you're experiencing is the direct expression of the source that is feeding you, nurturing you, that you're in communication with. And this flow, the flow is then really like the love being expressed through you in any kind of activity, but also in any kind of relationship, in any kind of expression, or in the deepest silence. Still, that doesn't stop. Now, one of the questions you can have is like, well, is that something you can be in like 24/7? And then basically it is like, well, it is the only thing that's natural. If you wake up in the morning, for example, and you would not feel the flow, the inspiration, then you would be, you could say, depressed. You would be, you have some work to do. You can say like that really brings you to a place where you feel separated. Now, that is not like, of course there are ways to release that, but if, yeah, so in the morning you can say like one good prayer, one good moment of silence could bring back the awareness that love is present. Now that's really lovely. That's the start of your flow state during the day, and you can lose that during the day, which is fine. So it can be remembered again. Now, of course, we practice this in the Course in Miracles, in the daily lessons. Like on a daily basis, you come back to sitting still, letting something else occur, opening your consciousness for what? For the flow of spirit, for the direct inspiration, showing you what to do. You don't have to decide anything, showing you what to do, where to go, what to say, to whom, how to do the things that you do, what to let occur in the instances that you have no idea what should happen. Following the instructions, like following the impulses and cues that you get to step into in order to stay in this flow, not stopping that, not managing that, not controlling that, but letting that freely flow. Now, I want to read a couple of expressions. It's like with an idea of flow state as a way of life. Now, I asked this to Gemini, the AI, and of course, then the answers are not coming from whole mind, but in a limited perspective. So I want to say, open that up and spread it out, or expand it. So here's one thing. So here it says, here what it means to embrace the flow state as a way of life. Intentional engagement. Instead of passively letting life happen, a flow-oriented individual actively seeking out opportunities for engagement. This means consciously choosing activities that offer the right balance of challenge and skill. See, this is very productive and skill-minded. But what I actually want to add to that is like a flow-oriented individual does not choose what activities to do, but stays in the perfect communication with spirit to show what there is to be done. Show me what miracles there are to perform today. Now here's another quite something, like cultivating autotelic experiences. Psychologist Csikszentmihalyi, that's a different name. That's great. I love this person. Coined the term autotelic to describe activities that are enjoyable for their own sake, rather than for external rewards. Now that's an interesting idea. So it's like, okay, so there's such thing as autotelic. So you do this for your own sake, for your well-being, because it feels good to you. Now, rather than for external rewards, like it's not outwardly directed. No, it's an intrinsically experienced, feeling. And see, this is important. If you take a look at it in a broader sense, it's like, in a sense, of course, you do everything for your own sake. Now, the problem that you're going to have with that in your human intellect is that you don't know the difference between what will bring you happiness and what doesn't. So this autotelic with a capital A would be, this is for your own sake. It is given to you for your own sake, like for the benefit of you, including everyone. And no matter what the activities, of course. So you come into the flow of allowing that to happen, to say, receive the instruction, receive the guidance, and recognizing that your joy is right there, not in your choices for it, but in fact following that guidance that you receive, no matter what the activities are, no matter who you're meeting, no matter what you seem to be doing. Now here's another one. Continuous growth and skill development. To stay in flow, one must continuously refine existing skills and seek new, slightly more challenging activities. Now this is simply not true. Like the continuous growth is in the nature of creation. And skill development is literally, it is giving you what to do. Like you will be amazed how well able you are to perform the tasks that are given to you. You don't need to, say, refine that yourself. So this is great. Like continuous growth literally is the basic principle of creation. Like it's forever expanding into infinity. And everything that you're asked to do, you're able to do. And that might be completely different things that you never did before. And they will be done perfectly. You will say part of that is literally the newness of it becomes the continuity in it. If it isn't new, then you're repeating something that you already did, which is what a robot does. Like it can repeat. But this is like it brings in a creative new principle in everything that you do. Now this is the interesting part. So here's, it says, a life lived in flow is a state of constant learning and expansion. Now it is when you enter into the state of flow, learning has ended because there's nothing to learn when you come into the flow state. Literally, then your channel is open to receive the instruction, the guidance, the inspiration to be as you are supposed to be, in full expansion and full expression and full communication. So here's another point. Mindful awareness and presence. While distinct from mindfulness, the practices of mindfulness, present moment awareness, non-judgment, are crucial for cultivating flow. Yeah, absolutely. By being more present, one is more likely to notice and immerse themselves in opportunities for flow that arise throughout the day. That's true. It's like here, the practice of mindfulness, like being present in the moment and non-judgmental, are in the mindful, say, practice, still based on perception and all this. So this goes, what I'm talking about is a flow that goes beyond that. It's a flow that's completely out of time. That has no direct inspiration from time. No, it's given from out of time. And being brought through you into this world. That is why it's so great. And that is a total experience. So the opportunities, you could say, the opportunities that will present themselves are a result or are connected to where you find yourself in your consciousness. If your mind is open, if you are in a flow state, all the opportunities will come because literally it's part of it. It is part of the flow state to have these opportunities come to you. See, this is a bit different, but if you listen really well, it does make total sense. All right, so we're going into a little bit of psychology here. Minimizing psychic entropy. Now that's a very interesting term to me. And the psychologist I just mentioned by name, Csikszentmihalyi, refers to psychic entropy as the disorder of the mind, the mental noise of worries, distractions, and self-doubt. And flow is the opposite, it says here. Now, the psychic entropy is literally you taking your thoughts seriously. To give you a little description, it is like seeing 20 wild horses running in all directions. And when you have to make a decision, you think like, well, I should be doing that. Oh no, well, I could actually do that too. And why not do that? And in the past, I've used this and blah, blah, blah. So it's like that whole thing is psychic entropy. It's literally moving in all directions. It has no focus. It has no guidance. It has nothing, in fact. So that leads to worries, distractions, self-doubt, because you literally wouldn't know what to choose in what you are thinking. Now, in the flow state, it does not bring order to the consciousness. It is perfect order of consciousness. And the internal chaos that you experienced a moment ago completely evaporates by this bright light that is literally nurturing your consciousness as never before. So a flow-oriented life seeks to reduce psychic entropy by actually doing the mind training of A Course in Miracles. That's exactly what you should do when you experience psychic entropy. When your thoughts are going in all directions, it's time to train your mind. Train your mind to do what? Train your mind to be open and not engage with the thoughts, because that would immediately interfere with the flow state that is being offered to you as the flow of spirit. So here then there's another point, redefining success and happiness. Like, we don't need to redefine anything at all. But anyway, so instead of solely chasing external markers of success like money and status, a flow-oriented life defines success in terms of quality of experience. Well, a flow-oriented life is not concerned with any kind of outcome. So that's one step further. Like, a flow-oriented life is not concerned with any kind of outcome. No, it is the pure experience in the moment, continuously expanding forever in all directions, you could say. Just like the universe is. It is in perfect communication. Now here, I think we're pretty good now. So, this can be interesting. And that is how to cultivate a flow-oriented life. Well, let's take a look at that too. So do we still have some time to do so? Let me see. Oh, this is already going up to 20 minutes. Well, let's keep it, let's do that later. One day I will get into that, because this is great to take a look at it like this. Thank you for your attention, and this is just part of the frequency of now, liberal arts. Basically, this was inspired by our friend Van Gogh. He definitely used the flow state to come into expression as a way to deal with himself, you could say. So that's a wonderful example. So thank you so much for listening, and you hear from me later. Thank you for everything. Bye for now.